What's up? Welcome to One Crack News. It's your boy Carcino here. Cool as I may introduce. Your boy is back. Oh yeah, he's back. Oh yeah, I'm back. Now I know most of you are sleeping. So most of you will see this video when you awake. But let's talk about it. Coco, you still around? I ain't seen Coco in a long time. Now he's Coco the Don. Okay, I see you. Well, anyway, let's talk about the new phenomenon. Well, it's not new. Let me stop that. This used to happen back in the 60s and 70s, 50s sometimes too. But it's an older tradition that if a girl was pregnant, that the man would marry her based on family, religion, or just status quo, and the entire neighborhood, or just for the look of it, image, in other words, people make rash decisions. They make decisions right off the cuff. They'll jump up and say, I want to get married. You go, what? And I've seen people get married because they were fooling around with a guy who they've been dating, got pregnant, and they can't have a kid out of wedlock. Now, all of a sudden, all the values of the family is now in question. Since when? You wasn't thinking about the family or religion and none of this stuff when you were out there sending it up. I'm quite sure you get knocked up was against the religion. So now it cannot, to make this thing right, we have to get married. And it happens in Black households, Hispanic households back in the day. And this has led to a lot of unhappy marriages or marriages that just don't work. It's very rare. You do have a rare occasions where these marriages work. Back in the olden days, these things happened and these guys and these couples stayed together for 30, 40, almost 50 years of marriage. Because it wasn't cable back then. They didn't have cable TV, so it wasn't nothing to do but make babies. So, look. So what they did was this. They would go out and they would make what we would call a pact. They would say, look, this is my family. I'm finna marry her. This is going to be my girl. And what happened is throughout these 30, 40 years, that guy is going to go out and sleep with some other women and make some other babies in the process. It's going to happen. It's very rare that they stay together. And it's just that man and that woman for 40, 50 years, nothing else in between. And as the years moved on, getting married because you got pregnant, the divorces came quicker, 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 and quicker. To now, if you get married because you get pregnant, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be divorced within 2 years. So, if you get a woman pregnant, do you have to marry them? No, you do not have to marry them. Okay? You can take care of your child and you don't have to get married. Because it's going to be better off if you're not ready to be a husband, do not get married. You could still be a father and not be a husband. The problem is people don't know what that even details. So they get married anyway. They just don't care. They're like, look, I'm dating her. Might as well just get married now. It's supposed to happen like this. So they get married. He get her pregnant. So now they're getting married. Now, here comes the problems 2 years down the road when he's bored. He's seeing a new girl down the street he wants to mess with now. She's at home with the kid. Now, his whole life has changed. Now he's daddy and husband, got to come home and be bored with her. Now he's like, why am I do that? Stay out a little bit longer more. Hanging out with the guys at the bar. Next thing you know, he's talking to another chick while you at home with the baby. He wasn't ready for marriage. He wasn't ready to be a husband. Sounded cool when he said it, but he didn't know what that detailed. He thought it was the right thing to do. And what he found out was he was not prepared to be a father. But there's the other side to that coin. It's a whole nother side to the coin. Oh, yes. The other side of that coin is she's not ready to be a wife. She's ready to be a baby mama. But she has no clue of what it means to be a wife. Oh, that's a reality too. Oh, she wants the show. She wants the marriage. She want to pick out the dresses for her bridesmaids. She want to make the arrangements to get the flower bouquet. She want all that. She wants the big show. And then when she gets it, she's liking photographs. The videos are going out. The vacation trips. And she's getting all of this that she got. Does not detail she knows what being a wife is all about. You got a wife who can't even clean her house. She can't cook. She don't know how to budget. She's not supportive. And then you're like, why am I married to her? And she be, you know why you married me. Wasn't because of my cooking. You gaining 30 pounds, high cholesterol. Because she keep kicking all this stuff with loaded sodium and salt. Just put some more salt in there. So you got to make a decision. Getting married is about values. You don't want to get married to somebody because that person is sexy and she just fine. She's got to have values. She's got to bring something to the table. He has to bring something to the table. He has to have values. He has to be a person of principle. She has to be a person of principle. Because these are the things that you're going to need if you're going to move forward as a union. A unit. Because if you guys are going to be a unit, you got to be, it's a team. So if both of you guys, one of you got values and the other one don't, it's not going to work. The other person's going to get exhausted for carrying the other person. You guys have, I'm not saying everybody has to be a perfect person. Everybody has faults, but there's faults you can live with and some you can't. So you need to assess these things before you start going down an aisle and getting married. But people are just getting married right away just cause, and then they just run and get a divorce. Because everybody wants to do the new in thing because they want to brag on social media and they want to post photos and say, oh, look at me. We got friends like that. They spend more time being on social media, IG, bragging about places they didn't went to instead of enjoying where the hell they went to. I know because I dated her. I dated her and it didn't last very long. Too superficial. Can't deal with a superficial woman like that. Superficial woman and me are not going to vibe very well. The things that this person was doing was not ideal for me because I'm a person of values and that person didn't see me as a person of value. They looked at me and saw me as somebody else because of the way I was dressed, and they met me at a club and they thought, oh, wow, this is the guy. He clubs every night. He does this and that. They didn't realize this is the one time out of the year you seeing me at a club. So this made this person want to date me right off the bat. Like, oh man, I got to get him. Matter of fact, this girl was with her man who she was fighting with. So they broke up, and she was like, I'm broken up with him. Like, that was the last night we were actually out. Like, I'm single now, so we can kick it. I'm like, all right, cool. We can go out. We went out. First night was good and everything. And certain comments she was making, and I kind of like had to say, whoa, it's a little too superficial, too judgmental. She's judging everybody, based on what they wearing, purses, shoes. I mean, she's just really, really, really screwed up. And I had to come to find out that it was because at one point in her life, when she was in high school, she was like 300 pounds or something close to it. She was a big girl. I never knew this because I didn't know it. And she lost all this weight and worked out, and now she's got a body like, wow. So she's so like vengeful now. She has like all this, like talking down to people now. The thing that I guess she's been hurt because people were making fun of her when she was in high school. and it's warped her whole mental makeup now, because now she feels like she's one of the sexy girls now. So she just talks down to all these other, like, other women who might look good, and she just finds flaws in them and starts just taking digs at them. So it's a psychological thing that she's got to go through on her own, where she takes like 600,000 pictures just going nowhere. She'll go in the bathroom and just be in there taking 600 pictures in the bathroom every time we would like go eat. She's taking selfies. Like, it's sickening. So there is a mental warp going on in her brain that she has to fix, and she's got to fight. She got to figure that out on her own. I've tried to help, but that's her headache. Is her, she got a new man now. That's his job. I am more than content with not dealing with that no more. I'm very happy that I don't have to deal with it. But this is what I mean by you have to know your values. That woman would have married me in a heartbeat had I have just went along with this plan, and I'd have been in a lifetime of misery trying to get out of this situation. A lot of women don't know how to be wives because they didn't come up in a uh, basically a family structure of wives. I've seen that happen, and the mentality is messed up because their mom was messed up. Their mom was a baby mama, and her mama was a baby mama, and it was going all the way down the traditional line: baby mama, baby mama, baby mama. Her grandma was a baby mama. And then she told her how to game a guy and get some money out of him. So they all thinking about is child support and how to get some money from the government and back child support off guys. That's all they think about. So their whole family structure was built on being baby mamas. And how is that woman going to know how to be a wife when she didn't have this structure at home? At home, they're teaching her how to get over on a man. And men, it's the same way. Men are not growing up in a situation where there's wife and husband, a family, marriage, a bond at home. They're growing up with single dudes just dating a mama that she just met somewhere else. He might be married to another woman that he ain't been with in 15 years. Seen that situation too. And he dating her. And it's no structure. So you don't know anything. You just out there. You're not thinking marriage. So now the younger couples nowadays are starting to get married now. They're finding a woman that they love and they're running out and they're getting married and they're starting their families. You can always, and I do mean this, always find a way. Right. You don't have to run and get married. So for everybody on the Patreon, we got some surprises coming for you guys. Just stay tuned, stay patient. It's coming. To everybody else, thank you for listening. The super chat did work over here, but I understand the confusion from time to time. But it's all good. You want to support and use the Cash App, either or, it don't matter. Carcino is that name on that Cash App. And everybody else, get your day going. Deuces.